everyone, it's Rita with Everything Homemade, and I'm going to show you how to sprout the most beautiful microgreens to give any of your meals a little kick. This video is sponsored by Mom Sprouting Seeds. I have been using their seeds for years, so I reached out to them while I use their seeds to show you how to sprout them. And so they sent me some really cool stuff here. They gave me a few more sample seeds that I don't already have. They also gave me some wonderful microgreen trays. They gave me their signature product sprouter that utilizes a simple canning jar. They created this stand to hold it vertically so any excess water drips down. It creates really good air circulation for the seeds, and it comes with a wonderful little plate here. These are some examples that I will show you how to do. This is red clover, broccoli, an Eastern ancient blend. I'm going to be showing you how to do some wonderful pea sprouts and so much more. Mom Sprouting Seeds would also love to give anybody who wants to order off their website 10%. So you can use the code everything10. The only thing is they're updating their website this year, so that code can't be placed in the cart, but you can definitely give them a call or go on their website to their contact page and shoot them off a message. Say, hey, I just watched a video from Everything Homemade channel. I would really like to place an order. Could I use Everything 10? And they will assist you from there. So without further ado, let's have some fun and let's get sprouting. So today we're going to be sprouting Triton radish seeds from Mom Sprouting Seeds. And let me tell you, I love these sprouts because I like the purple, reddish, pinkish color of these particular sprouts when they're ready. They really add a little color to your sandwich or soups, or dress it up on top of your meals. They also give it a little kick. So they really do taste like radishes, and they are super, super delicious. So let's get started. First of all, you need a canning jar. This is a wide mouth canning jar. The next thing you need is a lid with a screen. These are stainless steel. Mom Sprouting Seeds do sell this particular screen and lid. So once you have your wide mouth canning jar and your lid, you also need some chlorine-free water. I have in my jug here, and obviously you need some seeds. So the first thing you want to do is unscrew your lid, and I like to put 2 tablespoons of radish seeds in. Once you have your 2 tablespoons in, the next thing you want to do is pour a little bit of water in your jar. And this is to just rinse off the dust off the seeds. I like to give it a little swirl. The next thing you want to do is place the lid on top. You can definitely put this down your sink or grab a bowl. I like to put all my rinses in a bowl, and then I use all the water in my watering can to wash my plants, so I don't waste any water. So once you have done that, now your seeds are ready. So they kind of stick to the sides of your jar a little bit. Just kind of hit it down, no big deal. Also, once I put water in here again, they'll come down to the bottom. So the next thing you want to do is add another bit of water, and you want to make sure that you swish it so all the seeds come down, just like that. Now it is time for the soaking stage. So radishes you can soak from 4 to 8 hours. So I'm going to soak them for 8 hours. I like to soak them usually for their max amount of time, and then I will be back to show you the next step. We are back 8 hours later and you can see the transformation. Some of the seeds are actually opening up. That's what you see here with it being green, which is really cool. After 8 hours, they're ready, starting to germinate. And radishes go so fast, and that's why as gardeners, we like to put radish seeds when we plant, let's say, carrots or red beets, because they germinate so quick, then we can see the rows easier. And so that's just a really cool trick. But anyway, you can see them definitely opening up. So at this particular stage, I like to just dump out the water. Give it a little shake there, and that way some of the excess water comes out. Then what I like to do is just kind of shake my jar and then place it down. And that is it. Now I'm going to leave my jar on the counter, and in the morning I'm going to rinse out my seeds, and in the evening I'm going to rinse out my seeds. And how I'm going to do that is just simply by taking my jar, I take some fresh water, pour it in, then I give it a little swish to get all the seeds from the top. I usually leave it like this for about a minute. After a minute has passed, I just simply pour out the water once again, and I place it down on the counter, just like this. And I will do this morning and I will do this in the evening. And I will place my jar down like this for the first 2 days. After 2 days are up, the seeds will really start to bulk, and then I use the stand. And that way a lot of the excess water will come out, but your seeds will be bulked up enough to hold in a lot of the moisture. So that's what you need to do. So let's take a look right now at how the seeds germinate from 12 hours all the way when you need to eat them. You also need to remember that when you have your container on the counter, make sure it's away from kids from pushing down your jar, or cats that like to flick things off the counter. You also want to make sure that it is not in direct sunlight. So right away when you strain your seeds, you will see your seeds already start to want to emerge. You see some of them are already green, some of them are splitting open the seeds. And then 24 hours later, you'll even notice that they will have the first little roots that'll come out, many of them already a few millimeters big, and they are just going to town rooting out. 1.5 days later, things are really rotating. The roots are growing bigger. You can see that on the picture. You can also see that the leaves are starting to emerge at 1.5 days. So when they're at this stage, give it another 12 hours to a day, and you can definitely put your jar on the stand. At 2 days, again, the roots are growing bigger, the leaves are growing bigger, and the seeds really start to bulk up. 2.5 days, you'll notice that particular purplish, reddish, pinkish color will start to emerge on the stem. You have a lot of the seeds will have leaves maturing. And you'll notice that the roots will start growing root hairs. And as you can see in the picture there, that's usually when people start to freak out, going, oh my goodness, there's mold growing in my seeds. And this is at the moment where you just need to take a deep breath and look at them carefully and realize that they are just fuzzy root hairs. So no big deal at all. This is completely normal. At 3 days, this is when the leaves go from this pasty green to a richer green color. The stems really darken up to that nice purplish, pinkish color. Again, the roots are getting a little hairy, but no big deal there. And they're starting to emerge, and you're within 1 day to 1.5 days of eating your sprouts. On the 3.5 day, again, major changes so quickly. The stems are getting even richer in color and the roots are growing a little bigger, but more energy is being put into the stem and the leaves. So you have the hook, which is pretty typical, starting to straighten out at this particular stage. And then at the 4th day, you are literally 12 hours from eating your delicious sprouts, and they look beautiful just like this. The leaves are so rich green in color. The stems are this gorgeous purplish reddish color, and your jar is ready to explode. It's so full of sprouts. 4.5 to 5 days, your sprouts will look like this, and you are ready to eat them. So let's learn how to store your sprouts and how to enjoy them. So take a look at those sprouts. They look beautiful. We've got lots of green leaves happening there. My canning jar is right full. This is the time where we need to wash the sprouts, store them, and eat them. What I have here is a bowl to rinse out my sprouts. I have it clear just so you can see what I am doing. What I need to do is open up my sprout container and dump them in to my bowl. And you can see here right off the bat, you can see these, what I call kind of seed skins or husks. They're loose. My objective is to get rid of as many of these as possible. So that's as simple as adding a little bit of water in your bowl. And what I'm going to do is just swish them. I'm going to actually add a little more water here. You want enough water where your sprouts are going to kind of float, but also that the husks can float to the top of your water. So if I move some of my sprouts, you can see what's left on top of the water there is the empty husks that are floating, and that's what we want to get rid of. So I'm going to swish it some more. And then what I want to do is just pour out my water. And so that is as simple as I just move my sprouts to one side of the bowl. I'm just going to grab another bowl here and I'm just going to dump my water in. Okay, so I'm going to do that one more time. And I'm using cold water here. Now, if I lose some sprouts when I dump it, I just fish them out at the end. And this will just get most of the husks. You're not going to ever get all of them, but it just cleans it up a bit. Okay, so now that I have my sprouts cleaned up a bit, and you can see they're even stuck to my hands. You can see that they are actually even stuck to my bowl. So you're definitely not going to get all of them, but you're going to get the majority of them out. So the next thing I want to do is grab my Pyrex dish. They're about 1.5 inches sides here, and I want to grab 2 pieces of paper towel. I just fold these paper towel in half, and then what I do is just fold it in half again, creating a rectangle to go into my container. Now then what I want to do is, because my sprouts are moist already, I'm going to put them on that piece of paper towel. That'll help everything to stay moist, but also prevent standing water. Now that I have my sprouts in my container, I want to store them in the fridge. And you want to make sure that there is always air circulation. So with your lid, I either have it on the side like this, or I have it closed, but I will have holes at the top here so that it can breathe. You never want to just shut your container up tight. You're going to have an increased chance of mold because these are living and sprouts need to breathe. You could also have it open in the fridge just like this. Sprouts keep up to 10 days. If they do seem a bit dry, just give it a little bit of a spray with a spray bottle, but make sure you check your paper towel because a lot of times there's still a lot of moisture in your paper towel. So now that we know how to clean them up, how to store them, it is time to enjoy eating them. And I'm going to show you once again another way to eat your sprouts.